Barry Gibb's name is known around the world, but there's a side to his story that few truly understand. Fame, success, and global hits were only part of the journey. Behind the bright lights and screaming crowds was a brother who would one day stand alone. There's a reason he's known as the last surviving BG. This is the untold, heartbreaking story of Barry Gibb. Barry was born on September 1, 1946, on the Isle of Man, into a working-class family where music wasn't just entertainment, it was survival. His father, Hugh, was a drummer and bandleader who filled their small home with rhythm. Before long, Barry wasn't alone. Twin brothers Robin and Maurice arrived, and later their younger brother Andy. From childhood, the Gibb boys weren't just siblings, they were harmonies waiting to happen. In Manchester, and later in Australia, the brothers sang anywhere they could: movie theaters, local shows, small TV appearances. Barry, the eldest, naturally stepped forward as the songwriter, crafting melodies far beyond his years. By the time they returned to England in 1967, calling themselves the Bee Gees, destiny was waiting. Massachusetts. To love somebody. Words. The hits came fast, and so did the pressure. But fame has a way of magnifying cracks. Tensions grew between Barry and Robin. Creative differences turned personal. For a moment, the magic fractured. Yet they found their way back to each other, because the Bee Gees were never just a band. They were brothers. Then came reinvention. In the mid-70s, in a Miami studio, Barry discovered the falsetto that would change everything. Saturday Night Fever exploded across the world. Stayin' Alive. Night Fever. How Deep Is Your Love? They weren't just songs, they defined an era. The Bee Gees became the sound of disco, the kings of the dance floor. And then, almost overnight, the world turned on disco. Disco Demolition Night in 1979 wasn't just a publicity stunt, it symbolized a cultural backlash. Radio stations stopped playing their music. The Bee Gees became targets. Barry watched as the empire they built was pushed aside. But while the spotlight faded, his songwriting genius didn't. He quietly wrote massive hits for Barbra Streisand, Diana Ross, Kenny Rogers, proving his brilliance never left. Yet the deepest pain wasn't professional. It was personal. Andy, the baby brother with a movie star smile, spiraled into addiction. Barry tried to save him. He offered support, second chances, love. But in 1988, Andy died at just 30 years old. Barry was devastated. He didn't just lose a brother, he lost someone he believed he could protect. In 2003, tragedy struck again. Maurice died suddenly after complications from surgery. The peacemaker. The glue. Gone. Barry said it felt like losing his right arm. Then came the cruelest blow. Robin, his twin in harmony and rivalry, battled cancer for years before passing away in 2012. Barry held his hand. And when Robin died, the harmonies that had defined a generation fell silent. 3 brothers. 3 funerals. 1 man left behind. Barry has spoken openly about survivor's guilt, about wondering why he's the one still here. He was knighted in 2018, becoming Sir Barry Gibb, but even that honor felt incomplete without his brothers beside him. Today, he lives quietly with his wife Linda, surrounded by children and grandchildren. He still sings. He still writes. But every note carries memory. When he performs Bee Gees songs, he says he can still hear their voices. Not echoes, voices. Barry Gibb's life is a story of extraordinary success and unimaginable loss. The world remembers the falsetto, the white suits, the disco lights. But behind it all is a brother who loved deeply, lost painfully, and kept going anyway. He may be the last Bee Gees standing, but in his heart, they're still singing together.